Not going to take up much of your time this week, you know the drill, help is needed, hope by the time you watch this we're close on Patreon to the needed goal, thanks so much. How cool is it to do this scene of Nami lamenting not being able to reach Robin by using the petals that form when she uses her Devil Fruit ability? Actually putting the correct time on the clock since they left about 10 minutes early. This dude hilariously getting the entire wrong end of the stick as to what is going on between Nami and him over there. Not running to drop some Eves on the spot. I love it so much. He thought she was crying over there, but no, she's angry. The reactions are brilliant too. Oh jeez, I thought he was getting angry, not that the wave was about to come crashing over there. This great scene where we get to witness the first large wave hitting the city. So glad this was mentioned when it was hit and snapped. I was like, oh, why don't they remove stuff like that? But obviously it's because the waves are not normally that strong. This message left behind. These guys still very much getting the wrong end of the stick as well. Oh, come on, Sanji. He wrote an entire letter and put the most important part as a PS at the end. Giving that one more win, they think Paulie is in the midst of a love pentagon. Easy win for Sanji being smart and totally thinking ahead here. These guys still being so willing to help them find Zoro and Luffy. Sanji really rising up there in the old coolness meter with scenes like this. That was such a badass way to enter the train for the first time. I'm so hyped. This dude is huge! Absolutely shocked win! One of the things they do in this anime that I love is each fight is unique. Yes, most of the time it's head-on fighting, but here Sanji nicely hops behind him and out of danger. Wasn't getting a win until Sanji pointed out that this actually limited his range. And of course, him dealing a finishing blow in one single attack is brilliant, rather than him struggling for an episode and a half against him or whatever. God, I love this anime! I enjoyed basically quickly learning who each of the leaders are in the coming trains that Sanji will likely need to face one by one as he makes his way to Robin and the others. The realism that he didn't take serious damage and then immediately heal up, but instead is still hurt quite badly, and it's showing now. You know, it didn't quite hit me till just now, but this whole finding Zoro and Luffy scene also really adds weight to the size of the city. Imagine if they found them after 5 minutes. Go on then, have one more for this. It got me each time. The attention to detail in seeing where the water level has dropped due to the algae. Really really great not running on the spot animation that they didn't have to do. I know nothing about this sort of stuff, so her filling me in just prior was appreciated, and those sights. You can tell the wave that is coming is going to be massive. The great animators not only putting the algae on the front buildings, but even along the side bits, which you may have missed if you were in a rush. The lady from the newest Trails games is very likely to thank for finding, I'm guessing, Luffy. Heck yes! Luffy has officially been spotted! Nice to see this old lady, who sometimes seems like she doesn't care about anything at all, calling out for her with a warning. Nami proving why she's one of my favourite characters by going to such lengths for Luffy. Paulie continues to be a badass character in general, and one of the best additions to this entire arc, and maybe even saga as a whole. If this were anyone else, I wouldn't care, because I'd just presume they can do it, but with Nami, it adds a whole mess of anxiety to the scene for me. Chopper has found Zoro! I mean, kind of, yeah, it's him. Also, yes, I hear the change in the voice. I mentioned this in one of the movies too. She's not my Chopper, but hey ho, it's not for long. At least fake Chopper, from here on referred to as just Chopper for consistency's sake, is on his way to save Zoro. I really liked this moment because to me it showed her intensity, that she was looking at literally nothing else but where Luffy currently is, not taking her eyes off of it for a moment. I also like how she's not suddenly Zoro and just prior to this does trip and fall before a large jump appears, so she goes back and takes a big running jump at it. How there's no super randomly convenient straight run of building rooftops to run over the entire way there. At this moment I'd feel so powerless. No more rooftops to run over, a big gap in the middle, he's really high up and stuck as well, and a wave is coming, I mean my god! Nami probably feeling a real mixture of emotions here, anxiety, joy at him being okay, sadness at the state of things and thinking he wouldn't be alright, and maybe some anger too. I love her so much. She's clearly using anger to get him out of there. That is absolutely brilliant. Goes to show how much she knows him and the others in the crew and how to spark them. Loving Luffy also so much right now. He's hyping himself up now that he knows she did this for them and she was lying. Just thought that was a cool piece of lore that Zoro could tell that his cursed sword was near him. Oh my word, the size of the wave! This is about 10 times larger than I thought it'd be. That was really something else. It's one of those moments I'm just going to remember. Blew me away. Absolutely max wins all day long. Amazing stuff. That is also scoring max wins, not only for the effects, which is obvious, and him getting out and how badass it looked, it was also for the sound effects there.
行くぞナミ。
Luffy and Nami making it to safety. Obviously, all four of them making it back safely due to Chopper and Luffy. So happy right now. That was so awesome and sick and cute, and they've never done that before. You gotta be kidding me! What a legend this man is right to the end of the arc. I knew he was great all along, and he said, if it comes down to it, leave them to me, and he meant it. He's bleeding at the hands too, holding on to them. He got them back. Okay, can I breathe now for a minute? Nope, turns out no. Chopper on Zoro's face. He did that in the last movie I covered too, I think. When they put it like this, it seems insane. I mean, everyone is up there, families and whatnot. If you're not safe there, then you've got serious problems in the future. For some unknown reason, it really tickles me that he cannot get him off. Somehow, that makes it even more funny. This still makes me feel uncomfortable when they stretch his skin, but the win is actually for Luffy still caring about Usopp, letting it slip a touch there. I love it. The guy in the mask just got done saying the only two people who know about the ship are on their way to me, basically enjoying his victory. Meanwhile, here's Sanji! This got me beaming between the music and Luffy saying these words. So hyped right now. So happy. Heck yes, one more for that ending. So good. A crowd shot in the background. So good I had to show it first and then speak over it. Such high quality at a distance. He's got me feeling nervous. I know we've got Nami and she's amazing, but could he be right and no one can go through those waves? I don't know how to feel. Attention to detail only Oda seems to do sometimes. I know that's not entirely the case for all manga, but the man seems to do it all the time. Like thinking about these men like this. I feel like my girl Nami just dropped a nice piece of lore there, considering how her eyes widened at the mention of the gates of justice. Whatever that is, I love it. Ah, I see. So it's a court in name only. Once you go through, you never come back kind of deal. I mean, come on, man. The law just got even better right there. You go through the gates, you can either reach the Navy HQ or the prison Impel Down. I continue to love it. I like that. Making it so that they really have no choice but to leave right here and now, or as soon as possible to catch up to Robin. He can be such a badass. He's made up his mind, so as much as he wants their help, if they're not willing to give it, he'll find another way to get it done. Shockingly, I thought he'd just give right in, but nope, he's willing to fight him.
死ぬ覚悟があるんならついてきな出してやるよ海列車
Not only is this a great twist, but I'm glad it was her of all people who bring down the tension, since that place directly involves her painful past. The realism that not everyone is rushing to attack him because they may logically think it's strange for a moment that he just went through a car full of people to get to them. He's so easily shooting up the cool ranks with moments like these. He found Usopp and Frankie already. Let's freaking go! I'm so impressed with the anti-anime aspect that people reveal themselves, like the giant dude in the first car, and now these, and yet he beats them so easily. Them doing this at the same time, but it's still sad to see it happen. Well, kinda had to see this coming with the whole stealing their money, attacking Usopp thing, I guess. Half the win is definitely for Usopp defending his newfound friend, and the other half is totally for how he got over there. I tell ya, I'm already loving the expanding dynamic between them now that Sanji has been thrown into the pot. Can't wait to see what it's like with the others joining. I can already tell what this legend is doing. He walked off earlier because he's headed to the other sea train and he's now fixing it up. Man, he and Frankie and Tom was something else. 3 wins here, 1 normal and then a max. Firstly, how he opened the doors here, I enjoyed that. Secondly, as I said, max wins for the sequence itself. Extra animation involved in that, seeing the great looking and different sea train, and the twist as a whole being sick. She's a lot like Tom in her own way, actually. Liked his face there. We rarely see him smile, so it was nice. Another element to the story that wasn't addressed till now and kinda looks like he was just goofing around. But yeah, he's nearly fallen several times already. They're bringing the meat to a weak Luffy! These guys and their misunderstandings make for the best joke in this entire video right now. From the love pentagon to them confused why she's not eating the food right here. Speaking of brilliant jokes, she didn't even finish her sentence. See, no exposition, she knows he's worried about his friend Frankie. How Zoro wastes no time getting ready to fight, but mainly how they want to come with them. This entire arc might be, actually, no, it is now my favourite arc yet. Too long to show, but that was well done because just prior he grimaced because it's hard for him to do this, but he'll do it anyway. Love Luffy, nothing else to say. Luffy getting into his special seat right away. And the best arc yet gets even better. So damn good. I've got a huge smile writing this script. style change to end the episode. Also makes total sense when you consider that they were taking stairs leading deep underground. I know most people would add this, but Oda still deserves credit for it, I think. This just further had me thinking about the size of this giant city. Imagine seeing the entire thing, bottom to top. It'd be insane, I should think. What an awesome looking shot. They're coming along with those giant creatures and a massive building on the back of them. Nice to see these bulls again, because I talked about them when they first arrived in Water 7 and we're heading down the streets and we saw these huge ones. It's odd, but I strangely feel at ease having her around. She said the train track must have drifted far away, but she'll find it, and funny enough, I trust her to do so. This comment from Nami had me laughing so hard. So no matter what, we're getting injured. Again, as I've said before, it's not so easy. Most mangakas might make it easy, but not Oda. Matching the tracks like this would likely be a massive pain. Oh yeah! I totally forgot that they were meant to be staying back in the city with Iceberg. 2 wins. Firstly, they made it onto the train tracks. Secondly, she wasn't kidding around about the speed the train will go once it hits the tracks. Thank God he said they could come along, otherwise this would have been a disaster. These two comics starting their newest jokes, taking the old binacs from one another constantly. Yeah, Tom being taken away and then Frankie being thought dead is what first drove her to start heavily drinking, as I thought. Bet these were pulled from the manga and then given some colour. Look really nicely hand done. I definitely hope to learn more about this as time goes on, but take a win here for the first reveal of what happened to his body after being hit by the sea train. It's only natural that still these guys were butting heads a few years ago. He was angry that Iceberg was building stuff for the world government and he couldn't get over his ship's past. Just a quick win for Tom, who all those years refused to give up Iceberg and Frankie. I thought I mentioned it before, but just in case, have one for revealing why they had to keep the blueprints and didn't just burn them. It's as a countermeasure. That pierced straight through to my heart. He seemed so angry and then broke down in tears. He couldn't forgive him, but he's so happy that he's still alive. Whew, that got me. Didn't see it happen, but happy to see Frankie has been freed. I absolutely 100% cannot wait to see what goes down now. Oh sweet, these guys came along to help as well. The best arc in One Piece gets even better. The lasting damage on his face, since he did take a massive shot to the dome when we last saw him. His bedhead now starting to break the realm of science. Just thought it'd be nice to note that Endeavor and All Might are both in the same room here, which is cool.
アイスバーグさんを殺そうとした。想像だにしてなかったのか!
That's right up there with the best of the jokes of this arc. They seemed like they had an idea, but they didn't.
そうだな。
いいか、俺たちは同志だ。
Such a seriously badass moment. Get out of here. Don't know how they keep doing it, but so many endings end on such a high note. It just has to score a win. Easily the most beautiful of the EDs to date, a gorgeous song, and it really had me feeling for Robin and everything she's gone through. Seeing her as a child and then adult, beautiful. This is so awesome. I think they'd just weather it, but no, they're firing cannons at the wave to hopefully open a gap. Lucky snail.
いかん! すぐに止血を! Oh! これで間に合わせよう.
This dude is weird. He just said, "What happened to your arm?" Insect bite. I scratched it, he replies, and he acts like this. Unexpected.
世界が優しくありますように.
Dude can have one in general for being super unique. Not much else to say.
大佐! 何? まだ何も言ってませんが.
Such a simple but golden joke that is.
いや、アホ二人だった.
These two in the background providing much needed comedy relief this episode.
みんな下がってろ! フランキー一家特製大砲に任せとけ!
Totally badass cannon being fired by All Might. This then made for a hell of a scene, to be honest, with them all firing into the incoming wave together. Looked amazing when zoomed out too. Such a good building joke. You can see her getting more and more annoyed in her face until she lets rip, and even I'm just over here smiling and waiting for the big explosion.
What?
I liked how they showed the inside of the train where you can hear them firing off the cannons in the near distance. Badass prepping going on! I don't even care. Same win, let's go. Seriously though, how great does that look? Super Easy Max 2 wins for that combined attack of greatness, created a proper hole right through the middle of it, and then their reactions at the end too. I knew it'd be good. What a shot! They made it out to the other side, the very biggest of Let's Go's! Zoro is so cool! I just thought it was straight up wonderful to hear a former enemy talking like this about Luffy and Zoro and the crew, actually heaping praise on their abilities and being glad to have allied with them. Ah, why not? There's praise too from the nice ladies with the strange hair. And this right afterwards. It's no surprise to see Usopp looking like this after everything that happened. It's really bringing it back into focus now. So cool, giving him permission to really get in there and after Robin.
どうした？
Context. Zoro is saying, don't tell them to go nuts. Wait for us. There'll be really tough foes on that train. And then Luffy says this, and to be honest, he is right. He wouldn't wait. None of them would.
止めたって無駄だ。
Might sound weird, but easily one of Sanji's most cool and or badass moments in the entire series, that is.
たとえ船長命令でも俺は止まる気はねえんだ。
He then goes and does something equally as cool and or badass.
大丈夫かしら。
I love that music so much, but also it's very cute that it's now sleeping while not in use.
含めた俺たち6人が全員無事でいられるようにとロビンちゃんは自分の身を犠牲にして
So glad he said including you, in that meaning Robin also did it for your sake at the time.
話じゃねえか。バカ泣いてねえよ。
It's a first, but let's do this. Frankie being Frankie.
実は俺もロビンが政府に捕まっちゃ困る立場にあんのよ。
How perfect is this? There's no silly reason. Oh, your tale meant so much to me, I'll now randomly help you. Nope. He wants to help because of the blueprint / her knowledge stuff. It's so good.
あれだけ単価切って醜態さらしてどの面下げてお前らと一緒にいられるってんだよ。
And here is the same win as the last, but in reverse. He's not immediately like, yes, Robin is my friend, I'll help. Meets with Luffy, then hug, all good. Life's not like that. It's so good.
おい、じゃあなって。おめえ、どこにも逃げ場はねえぞ。
Frankie actually made a great point here I hadn't considered. He can't really leave. Also, they're briefly not walking on the spot.
ネロさん、罪人たちが脱走を。
Franklin from Hunter x Hunter, he's the guy in the Phantom Troop who has guns in his fingers. Huge dude. And also, as I called him, the whole of the horse in JoJo's Stardust Crusaders.
メタリックスター。
Is that Usopp in a mask? And he may have straight up ended that guy.
私の名はソゲキング。
3 wins here, so let's go. 1, the different voice he's putting on sounds entirely different. 2, it was a seriously cool way to end the episode as well. 3, the fact that it's a great new Usopp lie, which rarely happens nowadays. The mere fact that they gave him his own OP for this moment might not have scored double wins, but the comedy behind it, the singing and Usopp references, has to score max wins. He's singing his theme song like it's no big deal.
めんどくせえ性分だな。おい、こっち来い。はい。
Nice of Frankie to hear Sanji out explaining Usopp's feelings on the matter, and then going along with the obvious ruse.
残る車両はあと5つ。
狙撃の島ってどこにあるのとか。
そのどれかにロビンちゃんはいる。
Sanji is trying really hard to stick to the plan and not get too annoyed at definitely not Usopp saying stuff like this.
そこで一つ作戦がある。いいか、よく聞け。
Love Sanji. It's so clever that he's saying we can't keep taking on literally everyone, we'll grow tired, so we need a plan to switch off and tackle them.
よし、戦闘準備バッチリよ。
I'm going to win her change of clothing. It was nicely done. And stuff.
うるさいわいな、テレやん。テレや。
この。
Someone actually called him out on it.
この黒ズボン、どうせポケット付きならもっとでっけえ方がよかった。
It's an extremely rare Luffy change of clothing win. Also, slight change of clothing for Fake Chopper and Zoro.
これは空島から帰った後、ウソップがダイヤルを使ってより強く改良してくれたの。
2 wins here. Firstly, it's a clever way to bring Usopp back into their side of the story here. Secondly, it's nice to see Nami evolving as a fighter ever since Alabasta, really.
しんみりさすな。
I so hadn't expected that.
こんばんは。
What an kind of entrance that was. Equal parts cool and funny.
新書を発見した。行こう。
I just had a huge idea. I wonder if they're gonna board up the door, flip up top, go to the next train car and cut the link to the entire cabin with them all in it. I didn't know what to expect from him, but that was sick. They even showed where he cut away part of the Water 7 sign. I friggin' knew it. That is so smart and one of the rare times where I actually get something correct for a change. And by the way, what a clever way to get rid of the rank and file so they can concentrate on the larger fights now. This is going so easily for our team thus far. Really good to see these three in battles together for the first time, all landing really solid hits too, no less. The first time they get to understand how different Frankie is. I'm still shocked by it. I can't wait to find out how he changed so much exactly. The last thing I expected to happen here. God, I missed Usopp so much. Oh, that's a big part of my earlier question. He did it himself, and also because of that, he couldn't reach behind. So all that stuff is normal, hence the pain just now. That is so awesome. I know I've seen it before, but it really is, and I liked how interested Sanji was in the possibilities, no doubt. How they keep giving us a visual representation of where they are in the train. Totally unexpected scene! I often talk about anime eliciting feelings from me and praising them for doing so. This near turned my stomach, so well done. That mocking tone really got to me for some reason. For clarity, he shot at him, he said the bullets grazed him, yet his expression didn't change. He then says, I was so shocked I thought my heart would stop. It just made me laugh. He did it again. I didn't think he'd get a win, but it does somehow. Darth Weirdo, Fiji, Maldiao, Mushwin, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Minimasher, Marquez, Nozomi, Orkeeper, Odabotanisi, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brendan Greer, Brian Bayard, Cameron, Christopher Terrasa, Commander Cyrus, David Freerix, Devicool, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Guru, James Tafoya, Yor Edvinson, Kevin Alston, Cumfroik, Miura Night Sky, Mr. Mansu, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Robert Jackson, Ruby Rose, Sataki Ari, Zions 44, Sean, Starkip, Tiger Lily Warrior, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Arnador, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante's Soul, Dante's Face, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Donald Newborn, Dragon Defender, Dragon Boy 1, Drake's Daughter, Iso, Francie, Furious Mo, Garrett Vermeesh, Henrik Jensen, Hoth Losritter, Israel Caldera, Joe Crims, Jason Davies, John, Jaffa 6263, Kai Wolfspring, Kelnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevin 102, Knuckle Duster, Cody Niemeyer, Kai 158, Carl Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gagati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Luis Minito, Marvin, Mason Stelfer, Matthew Blancet, Michael Lewis, Miran Ardron, Modaviram, Mr. Firecool, Nathaniel Gigramosa, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, Nuvagown 1928, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Olive Wharf, Onyx Caliph, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Halloran, Porgy, That's a Fish, Q-Flash, Chris Harris, Rimuru, Rodiz, Roll Tide Wes, Ryan DeViri, Sadaholic, Sakumi Iorum, Sarcastic Truth, Shadow Cleanser, Snowy, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Thrasher 340, Tomo Sandy, Vernon Hogan, Wacky Normal, Will Sass, Willyman,